Hey there, caribou, chilcoltin, critical thinkers, peoples. I just wanted to mention a few things quickly. Like people have been telling me, "Oh, Andrew, you're getting your information from the internet. The internet's full of BS and full of fake news and quasi pseudo garbage and stuff." And you know what? You know what? They're actually right to a degree, but you could say the same thing about anything. Like for example, in the internet, I mean. You can also find lots of real science and a lot of real data and a lot of real information. Uh, and to backtrack a bit, you can go to the library and you can take a book about taking vitamins according to your aura, right? Or some kind of weird thing like that, right? Or you could go to the library and grab a book about medical science that's evidence based, right? And uh, and you can read stuff like that. Just same thing with the internet, you know. So it's an invalid argument, which it's I'll ignore because if you think about it, anyone can realize what I just said is true, right? It's the same thing with I hear about like I remember when TV, everyone was bashing television, saying how TV rots the brain because it doesn't make you think. You know what? You can watch a program that's mind numbing and silly, like Ancient Aliens or something like that, or you could watch a program called Nova or National Geographic or some other program like that. So that stimulates the brain, right? So it's a. I remember even if you go back in history even further, right? They were saying bad things about the radio. Ooh, you're everyone's inside the house listening to the radio, and they're being brainwashed by the radio, right? When they should be outside working and plowing the fields and shit like that, right? They even before the radio, people were bashing books, saying, "Oh, look at all those people reading books. They're getting nearsighted and they're getting weak and flimsy." That's where that nerd comes from. That nerd comes from about being weak because they're always at home reading the book in the candle, and they have to wear glasses because it's because they're nearsight and all that crap, right? So books are bad. Books are bad. You know what? You can read 50 Shades of Grey, or you can read a book called Watership Down, which, by the way, is a very good book, right? And so it's just the same thing with books. There's good books and there's bad books, right? And it's really a lot of these arguments aren't true arguments; they're false arguments, right? And that's why you can't just be swayed by them when they say, "Ooh, the internet rots your brain. Ooh, television rots your brain. Ooh, books rot your brain. Ooh, the radio rots your brain. Makes you not think. Makes you not think." Right? Well, you know what? Um, it's on. It's with everything, right? Everything's like that. The whole world's like that, right? And it's up to the individual person to have a critical mind, right? To be skeptical, but be open-minded. Everyone confuses skepticism with cynic. Can't even say that word. It's being cynical. Not the same thing at all. A true skeptic has an open mind. He just basically says, "Where's the beef?" Right? And when you get the beef, "Are you sure this is beef?" Right? It's that's what it is. That's all it is, right? And so when people say, "Oh, Andy, you got that from the internet," it's probably BS and stuff. Well, I try very hard to make sure it's not BS. And if it is BS, then I ask you to debunk me and show why I'm wrong. And if it's valid, hey, I'll change my mind. Because why would I want to be wrong, right? It's not a contest of who's right and wrong and stuff like that. It's a search for truth. That's all I'm trying to do, right? And just because someone has a PhD or someone's a nurse or someone's a doctor doesn't mean they're not a quack. You can still be a quack and have a PhD. Sometimes a PhD, all that really means is piled higher and deeper, right? For example, I remember meeting this one nurse, right? And she was like, "Eating according to your blood type," right? But when I investigate, at first it sounded interesting, right? But when I investigated, it was BS. It was basically what that means. Blood type. Okay, first of all, most people on the planet is type O, right? And all blood type is the shape of a blood cell. That's all it is, right? And some blood types have a different shape to the cell, right? That's why we call it a different blood type, right? But it's not really different. It's just differently shaped, right? It does the exact same thing as the other blood cell does, exchange nutrients, oxygen, and all that kind of stuff, right? It's all it does. That's like, so when you create a diet according to your blood type, right? um, it's like saying, I'm going to create a diet according to your ear shape, right? Some people might have ears like this. Some people might have ears flatter back. Some people might have fat earlobes, right? But guess what? The ear does the same thing. It hears. Doesn't it's like saying it's like creating a diet based upon your eye shape. Some people have slanted eyes. Some people's eyes have big eyelid things, but you know what? They do the same thing. They see, right? It doesn't do it, or so eat it. So just because someone's a nurse or a doctor doesn't mean they're not a quack. And they're not even necessarily a quack. They could still be a good doctor or nurse, but misinformed in this particular area, but still be smart in all these other areas. That's all. So just that's all I ask is just to investigate, question. It's not a contest of who's right and who's wrong, right? It's just a search for truth. In the age of misinformation, and not only the age of misinformation, the age of disinformation. You always have to have a skeptical mind, skeptical eye, and don't confuse skepticism with being a cynic, right? It's two different things. Cynic is always like, I disagree with everything. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, without having a explanation why they're wrong or why they think that. It's just like negative, right? A skeptic is not like that. A skeptic is actually open-minded and curious, right? They want to know. All they ask is, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" And when they show the beef, "Are you sure it's beef?" That kind of stuff, right? That's all a skeptic is. That's all I do, right? And I find it entertaining to question things. Anyways, peace out, man. That's all I wanted to say. See you later.